We were at a hotel party together. I cheated with his best friend. This all sounds horrible.
You say you love me, I know cause I see it. If I respond that way, is that conceited? I'm not trying to come off as the bad guy. Last time I played, I got cut before halftime. With you though, I'll never be done. Like Tracy McGrady, you'll still be the one. Been here for a while and I'm still having fun. So when I say I hate you, I'm just being dumb.
Hey guys, it's Shy.
It's Asia.
It's Shy Asia. We're back with another Red Couch Convo.
And I'm going to be exposing myself.
But you're gonna keep your clothes on, right? For starters, we'll say that we're going on 8 years in this relationship, and I am the first girl that Asia has ever dated.
So basically, everybody that I've dated before her has been of the male gender. So we're just gonna get into a little bit of detail about my past relationships and, you know, how this came to be.
I'm gonna be looking at my phone a little bit because
I made a list of everybody.
We're not gonna say no names, but we gonna give initials for those who know who we're talking about. Then kudos to you. If you don't know, then ask about it, I guess.
Right, to cover my ass, I'm just not gonna say names. If you knew me around that time and you know what that initial stands for, then
you just know.
So the first one was 5th grade. I was 11 years old, my very first boyfriend. So we're gonna refer to him as A1, but that doesn't mean that he was the best. He was just the first A. I don't really have much to say about that.
That wasn't really a relationship.
It wasn't really a relationship. He was like so respectful, so nice. First kiss was on the cheek, like first and only kiss. But like it was behind the school, so it was like a little scandy. Then the second one, here's where it gets a little crazy.
Because you're like a bit older now.
7th grade. I'm 12 years old.
She said, here's where it gets a little, 12 years old, guys? This is where it gets a little, okay.
The first boyfriend didn't really have any like juicy stories, but like this one, Anyway, so this is S1, the first S boyfriend I've ever had. So I don't really remember much. I feel like middle school was such a blur. But the whole thing was I moved to another town when I was in 5th grade, but I stayed in the same school district and basically told them that I lived still in that town so that I could continue going to that school. But then in 7th grade, they were like, fam, we know you don't live here anymore, so you kind of gotta go. I had a boyfriend at the time, and when I walked out of the counselor's office, they were literally like, pack your shit, take everything out of your locker. So I was like, okay, well, let me go do that. And
I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt you. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at your timeline, and you telling on yourself.
Why?
Right here, with this and this. There was nobody in between these two people.
This happened during that. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, okay.
I said I was exposing myself. Anyway, so basically they were telling me that I had to leave. I can no longer go to this school because I did not live in the district. So I didn't tell anybody, like not even my friends, that this was happening. I literally just walked to my locker, started cleaning shit out. So I literally up and left, started going to another school, and he called me one day and was like, why do I have to hear through so-and-so that you don't even go here anymore? And I was like, oops, sorry.
Not really apologetic.
Yeah, and like I don't remember that relationship at all. All I know is that I left him without saying anything. And then years later, now I'm in high school. This is what, senior year? He moved to the town that I resided in. So like he followed me basically and went to the same school as me and apparently hung out with the same people as I did. I had a lot of different friend groups. So at lunch, I would just like, you know, pick and choose where I was gonna sit. That makes me sound like popular, but not. I was a floater, not popular, just a floater. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna hang out with these certain people today. So I went to the table and he was there and he looks up at me like, oh, you go here? And then he proceeds to tell my friend group that I up and left him in 7th grade and he was so heartbroken over it, and I'm just like, dude, get over it, like nobody cares. Moving on to 8th grade, I started hanging out with my best friend, I was gonna call her Ariana. People call her that, but I don't call her that. I have never called her that. I call her Ariana because her name is, I'm not gonna expose her. I call her Ariana. So I used to hang out at her house all the time. And around the corner lived what we called weed heads.
Or pie.
No, we called
weed heads?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And apparently, like, 2 of them, like, really liked me. So basically, I had my pick of the litter, but they were both, like, kind of ugly. But I was like, they're kind of cool. They weren't, but, like, in my head at the time, whatever. So I picked one. There was another A, so this is A2. I just thought that it was like kind of romantic because his birthday was on Valentine's Day. So I was like, oh my god, this is so cute. Your birthday's on Valentine's Day. Yeah.
I don't know him.
You don't know him. And if I show you a picture now, you're probably gonna be like, what the fuck were you thinking? Because he's not cute. So we would just like hang out, nothing special. I think he was my first kiss.
The boy that wasn't cool, that you just that took the throwaway card with.
But I had to get it over with. Like, I had to practice on somebody.
I understand that.
Like,
So why not practice on somebody you don't really like?
Right, like I couldn't practice on a cute person. I was gonna say boy, but like girl, boy, whatever. Anyway, so I ended up breaking up with him a little while, like not, like it didn't last very long, but I told him that I was breaking up with him because he smokes weed. But that was not the case. I just thought he was ugly and it just wasn't going anywhere. The next one was 9th grade. Now I'm in high school.
Now here are the people that I know.
Because we went to the same school and apparently just did not know each other. So this is J1. I don't really know what to say about him. What I want to say is probably not appropriate. He was my, fuck, this is 9th grade.
No, yourself.
He was my first, not kiss. We had a first together. I was not expecting to have this first because I was in 9th grade.
I already know. So was it y'all or him?
It was just him.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do anything. Let's make that clear. Because I was 14 and I was not expecting this. I went to his house expecting to like hang out with him and his family, but then his mom left and then his sister wasn't home and I was like, oh, this is why he called me over. But then he broke up with me for no reason, or maybe there was a reason, I don't know, he didn't tell me. He used his cousin to break up with me. I told my friend Portia that he broke up with me through his cousin, so she found him in the hallway and ripped him a new one, and that was it.
Shout out to Portia.
Shout out to Portia. But then he like hit me up like a while later, like as if nothing ever happened. We're friends in his eyes or whatever, and he's like calling me sis, and I'm like, this is like low-key awkward because I'm not your sis. You don't do that with your sis.
Can you tell these bitches you don't do that with your bros either?
You just did. The next one. This is A number 3. Apparently I have a thing for A's and S.
No, you have a thing for that specific S because not all of the S's have the same names, but
I have 2 S's with the
same name.
But I have 4 S's and 4 A's. So this one was 9th grade. I don't remember if I was 14 or 15, but it was 9th grade. He asked me out and he was like shorter than me, so it was like kind of awkward. But he was like still kind of cute, so I was like fine. So the first day of our relationship, he asked me if he could walk me halfway home because like our houses were in the same neighborhood, but like he went one way and I went the other. So when we parted ways, he gave me a kiss goodbye and it wasn't good. So I called him later and I told him that I couldn't be his girlfriend anymore.
After being so experienced.
Even if I'm not experienced,
you're grossed out. You don't like, want to be grossed out.
It was like
Alright.
The next one, I thought I was so cool because this boy was older than me. This was the summer before 10th grade and he was like, I think this was the summer before his senior year. So I was like, ooh, I'm dating a senior and I felt cool. But I didn't tell anybody that. I didn't show it. Like
You also didn't tell anybody that you thought his sister was hot too because you still...
Stop, because that's a note that I have. This was before I like knew I was gay, I guess.
The crazy thing is that we've hung out with her.
Like I feel like I've always thought girls were pretty, but I wasn't brought up knowing what homosexuality really was. Everybody in my family is straight except for my one uncle who lives all the way in California, so I'm not around it. There's other non-straight people in my family now, but like back growing up, I wasn't
and put in the position to know what that was.
right. So I didn't know.
Yo, same thing though. I'm not going front. Like, I think it's a new age that kids know what sexuality is because everybody's so just like gender
Like it's everywhere now.
But I didn't want to be a cheerleader because I wanted to cheer. I wanted to be a cheerleader because that's what all the pretty girls were.
So I thought I was cool because I was dating this like almost senior, and I liked going to his house because his sister was there. We were friends and we hung out, we went to the pool. I was really hanging out with him because I got to hang out with her. But I didn't know that. It was like a subconscious type of thing. This is the first time I've ever cheated on someone.
That's weird.
No, it is weird. So was that though.
Oh, I just realized that.
Just to fill y'all in, his sister's name is the same as my cousin's name, so it's kind of weird. And also the person who I cheated on him with is a boy and is also my cousin's name. And also his best friend at the time. So let me give you the story. My friend was having a sweet 16. So we were having sweet 16 practice, and of course, oh, I almost said his name. S2 was my partner, obviously. And his best friend was also in the court, but he was somebody else's partner, obviously. We were kind of talking on AIM for a while, like flirting. So one day before practice, he was like, do you want to meet up? And I was like, yeah, let's meet up, knowing damn well what that meant. Long story short,
Parts met up.
I cheated on S2 with his best friend, and we kept it low for a really, well, I don't want to say really long time because the summer's not that long, but once school like started and we weren't seeing each other as much, me and S2.
I just want to clarify that we didn't see each other as much because we lived in different towns. So he lived in the town that I used to live in. Obviously, I didn't live there anymore because I got kicked out in 7th grade. But yeah, that's why we weren't seeing each other. Just wanted to clarify. Back to the video.
He like texted me one day and he was like, how could you do this? But like, I don't know who told him, but he found out. And
Friend probably told him like, yo, fuck
yeah,
this.
he probably like felt guilty at some point. And
Guilty by ass.
but I really wasn't like phased at the breakup because like I said, I liked his sister more than I liked him. The next one is the words that were about to come out of my mouth was gonna sound really weird, but this is the only D that I've been the only boy whose name starts with D. I feel like this is the relationship that was like everywhere. Everybody knew.
That was the high school boyfriend.
That was the, like, this was the person who people thought I was gonna marry outside of high school.
That was your prom date.
Prom date. Prom, okay. We started dating for like the whole 10th grade, and I think the summer as well. We were on and off in 11th grade, and then in the summer, he said he wanted to take a break because it was summer. I know what that means. And then in 12th grade, we're not together, but like since everybody knew that we used to be together, I was like off limits. I was basically at his disposal in his mind. I didn't even write down any notes for him, but you brought up prom. I like forget about that because I hated it so much. First of all, he didn't even ask me to prom. He just assumed that we were going together. The way that I knew that we were going to prom together was him asking me what color my dress was gonna be. And I was like, my dress. But then we ended up going together, and the fact that we were like not dating, it was really awkward and it was not the best time. I wish I could do prom over. If you see pictures, I look miserable. The group pictures, I'm like semi, like,
Cause you're around people.
because I'm around like friends and my family was there taking the picture, so I didn't want to show them that I was not happy. But if you know me and you know my smile, the smiles in those pictures are like fake as hell.
I wanted to add the pictures of prom for you guys to see because not everybody has the liberty of knowing me at that time or seeing those pictures. So I'm not happy. Like, look at my face, look at my posture. And now here, can you tell that I'm faking it? Because I'm faking it. And then here, Awkward smile while he's on the phone in the middle of taking pictures. Awkward for me. Then, this is after prom. Never mind the fact that my dress is a million times too short, but look at my face. Do I look like I'm having fun? Absolutely not. So yeah.
I wanted to go home so bad. I had no fun. So I went to my old school. The school that I would have went to if I stayed in the first district that I went to. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I went to their prom. I went to their after prom. And I had so much more fun. The summer between 10th and 11th, we were together. I was hanging out in my old town a lot and hanging out with this other boy, J2. He technically wasn't my boyfriend, but basically
it was a situationship.
Yeah, we were doing relationship things without a title, like going to the carnival, late night walks through town. I got my ass beat because I stayed out until 2 o'clock in the morning. Like literally we weren't even doing anything. We were just hanging out outside. That ended not because of D, but because something happened with another person. I think that he became insecure about the whole situation and didn't want to do it anymore. So I was like it didn't really faze me because we weren't together and I already had a boyfriend, so I was like, whatever. so bad. But yeah,
I didn't know you were in a relationship when that whole thing went down.
Yeah. And he asked me about it. D asked me about it. Apparently somebody told him and I was like, no, what are you talking about? Senior year, like I said, ended. Summer after senior year, we're at a friend's birthday party and we're drunk and he's just saying something along the lines of I want to be with you, but just not right now because I'm going to college, and when I go to college I'm gonna fuck other bitches, but I'm gonna come back to you type shit. One of those.
I know where home is. Let me go be a dog, but when it's time to open the fence, let me back in.
Ew. Yeah, ew.
That's what that is.
Yeah. And me, I'm drunk, so I'm like, okay, whatever. He went away for college. I stayed local. I commuted. We are not together at this point in time, but in his mind, when he comes back for holidays, I'm where it's at. He wasn't wrong.
I'm
in college, I meet a boy. This is S number 3. We start dating in October. Then November comes around. D comes back from college for Thanksgiving break and we meet up, we hook up, but I never tell S. Actually, before that even happened, Facebook memories reminded me today that I went to go visit him.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, when did you go to him?
Damn.
You were with S3?
I was with him. Maybe we started dating before October? I don't know when we started dating. All I know is that this time, that many years ago, I was with S3, but I went to visit D in college. And I convinced S3 that it was simply a friendly trip. I don't know how I did that. Things happened, and then I came back and I never told S3 about it. I liked that he was older. Apparently I have a thing for people who are older than me, even though you're a couple months older. You're born in 91, so that's cool to me. And I was born in 92. The fact that he also lived in the city and we had to take hella subways to get there was also cool to me. So it's this shit kind of cool. So yes, we started dating. I go visit D in college, continue dating. D comes for Thanksgiving break. Things happen. He came for Christmas break and we were at a hotel party together. We were gonna hook up, but then I was like, I don't feel right. I have a boyfriend.
Who are you talking about now?
D.
Oh.
He came back from college.
Oh, I don't want to cheat with you again.
Yeah, basically. I guess I was kind of confused by it because
it already happened.
But I was trying to be mature, Then I'm with S3 for about a year-ish without cheating, right? I think. I don't know. I honestly don't remember because I don't remember. But then when I was 20, I started working at a summer camp. There was a boy there who I had zero intentions with it
I feel like a lot of people are gonna know who this is too, given who worked with you or who watches this video.
But I'm not saying that. If you know, you know. So this is A4, the last A on my list. I'm still with S3, mind you. And A4 knew that. So we weren't supposed to be anything more than friends. And that I didn't want anything more than friends. But I guess when I'm drunk,
You have a good time.
I'm very friendly. The staff at this camp always had a party. Like every weekend there was a party. And we would go together because I had a car and he didn't. Is that why? I don't know why, but I had a car. He had a car too. I don't know. He started thinking that we were more than what we really were. I just didn't have the heart to tell him that we weren't. Also the fact that S3 lived in the city, he didn't travel back and forth to me much. So this was my entertainment. This all sounds horrible.
No, it just means that I have a type. Apparently the girls that I go for do things like this.
Oh, so this is your fault.
Nice try.
Specifically, there's one day that I remember. We're at a point where he thinks that we are together and he thinks that I'm gonna break up with S3. I don't know if I said that.
You might have.
I might have.
You tend to tell people that.
Okay, so I just realized that I never finished telling the story, but basically we were at a party and I was drinking, so I was intoxicated, and my friend was like, have you ever smoked before? And I was like, no, I've never smoked before. So I also smoked for the first time that day, so I was under the influence of multiple things. And what is he, A4? I forgot already. The person that we're talking about, he was like, oh, you're like really kind of messed up, so you should stay at my house. And then I was like, nope, I'm good, and drove all the way back home. That's how bad I did not want to be with this person. Yeah.
Poor S3, you done cheated on this man with
Just 2 people, I think.
3.
2. Oh, 3. Shit. I forgot. Oh wait, before I continue, I'm gonna add in this boy. He's a K. I don't remember if it was 8th or 9th grade, but I just wanted to add him because he used his brother or cousin or a family member to ask me out. I say okay, kind of confused because I didn't think that he liked me like that. Also, we never hung out before. We had like 1, maybe 2 mutual friends, so I was confused, but I said yes anyway. Less than a week later, I get a call from another random person, probably the same person, saying, oh, Kay doesn't wanna be with you anymore. So I was like, okay. And that was that.
Shout out to you, Kay. AKA D.
Yeah, I never called him his nickname.
He's so cool though,
like he's cool now. I just didn't understand what happened when that happened.
That's my guy. I got wasted at so many parties with him.
So like I was saying, A4 was doing really cute things. So like drove to my house and brought me a CD that he put songs on. Do you remember when people used to do that? But we're like 20 now, so I'm like, that was not a thing.
I was lame. I wrote it down. I didn't even make the CD. I just wrote the songs on a piece of paper and like
listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he would do like really boyfriend things. He also brought me to like family barbecues, and one family barbecue that he brought me to was really awkward because apparently he's actual cousins with people who I grew up being fake cousins with. I don't know if it's like a black people thing, like a colored people thing, that if your parents grew up with each other, y'all are family. My mom had a best friend, they grew up with each other, they had kids. And those kids considered each other cousins. So I'm calling these people my cousins. Meanwhile, he's actual cousins with these people. So like now in my brain, I extra don't want him to be my boyfriend because we're cousins now. And the other thing is I had those cousins on social media. So the whole time I'm like,
and nobody reached out to you, was like, hey.
No, nobody said anything, but like, on social media, I had S3 as my boyfriend but he's introducing me to them as his girlfriend. It was like awkward in my mind, but not awkward at all because they weren't making it awkward because in their mind, we're chilling, we cousins, like we hanging out like nothing's wrong. But in my mind, I'm like, is anybody gonna say anything that I have a boyfriend? So yeah, he thought he was my boyfriend. But then I told S3, I was like, there's a boy that likes me. I don't know, I kind of played it off in a way that S3 didn't know that I was low-key in another relationship. And he was like, you need to tell him like to stop. He wanted me to end that situation. A4 wanted me to end my relationship with S3. So I got these two people telling me what to do
with each other.
But I'm like, I never really wanted to be in a relationship with A4 to begin with. So peace out. So I'm still with S3. Towards the end of that relationship, he decided that he wanted to continue, like he wanted to go to college again in Alabama. And I was like, we are in a relationship and you wanna go to Alabama? I was not with it. But I had no choice because...
Grown ass man, let him go to school. You can't hold nobody back.
Also because I think it was a lot of family pressure for him to go because he has family in Alabama and his dad really wanted him to go. Whatever. He went to school in Alabama. So I was by myself in not Alabama. But we would text a lot, we Skyped a lot, not even a lot, whatever. The November after he left, so like a couple months later, Ariana, my friend from earlier, had a baby shower that I wrote the invitations to because I was her best friend, but then I was writing out invitations to a Shais. I was like, who is this? Because I know everybody else, and who is this? And she's like, oh, that's my other best friend, and I'm like, what? So I met her at Ariana's baby shower.
Ooh, that's the side of her that I bring out, guys.
And she was like really friendly with my sister, and it was like around Christmas time. So she was
part
like,
of the game. I was being extra cute with your little sister so you could notice me.
Meanwhile, I thought you were dating somebody else at the time. There was like a Christmas parade outside of the restaurant that the baby shower was at, and she was like, Brianna, look, it's Santa. And I was like, oh my god, she's so good with kids. Moving on. I feel like I had extra guilt feeling certain things for you that as soon as we left the restaurant, I immediately texted. Not to like say, I met a girl and I think I'm gay now. Just like regular conversation, but I felt like I had to
take your mind off me.
Yeah. Months go by. New Year's comes around. Ariana's like, what are you doing for New Year's? And I'm like, nothing. She's like, come hang out with me. And I said, okay, what are we doing? And she was like, I don't know, we're just gonna go hang out.
She knew exactly what we were doing because we do it like every year. That's the funny thing. Like we're always together on New Year's.
So we end up hanging out with Shais, and then literally from that day on, like the literal entire January, we hung out. Like our friend group hung out, not just us, every single day in January and almost every single day in February basically. She threw me my 21st birthday party on February 25th.
I mean, we got super close in January because I was like sleeping at Ariana's house and you lived around the corner.
Yeah, I lived around the
corner. So like every time I was there, I was like, yeah, just come over. And I don't know how you got my number, but I know we were hanging out one night and I like fell asleep on you, like giving you a back rub. Like I knew she had a man and I wasn't trying to be like that, but like it was kind of like that. But I gave you a back rub and fell asleep on you. I woke up to a text message that said, sorry, I had to leave. It didn't even cross my mind, how did she get my number? It was like, oh man, she's not here. That's what crossed my mind.
I don't know how I got your number either.
And I woke up. And I was with somebody at this time too, but I stopped going to visit them because you
I was me.
Took up my brain. Like, so we didn't even really break up, this girl and I. Like, we just fizzled out because she knew that she was being replaced.
So we just hang out very much. She throws me my 21st birthday.
I used to be the queen of throwing parties. Like, I used to throw parties all the time. One of our other best friends, his birthday.
His is on the 16th, mine is on the 25th. That's 9 days.
His parents have a nice size crib, nice size basement. So I'm like, yo, conjoined party. I'm feeling Asia. He's like, yeah. What happened at that birthday party?
Shais had all these girls around her, so it didn't even seem like she threw the party for me. She threw the party so that she can invite bitches. It like low-key bothered me, but not like really, because I had a boyfriend.
I didn't know she was paying attention to me at all, y'all. And I didn't know she was checking for me. But I was checking for you the whole night, though.
No, I had a really good time. I got really drunk. But then at the end of the party, when I was throwing up, Chase was in the bathroom with me, helping me, and I fell asleep. Like I said, we spent like a whole lot of time together before even dating. She came to my house a lot, asked my mom if she can sleep over. But in my mind,
Left your mind's down here?
in my mind, I still don't think I came to terms with the fact that I wasn't straight. So like, since I wasn't mentally there yet, I'm like, my mom is also not mentally there yet. So she knows, or she thinks, that Shais is just a friend. So her staying over is no big deal. So,
I didn't want to out you, and we didn't even do anything worth you being out yet.
yeah, we were just like hanging out a lot.
I remember staying at your house, and then I left. You texted me, but why do I miss you though?
Ew, I said that?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know, but I miss you too. Is that okay? Like, we were asking ourselves and we were asking each other, like, is this okay?
Wait, hold on, wait, because I missed a major. So, Shais threw me a 21st birthday, right? What did S3 do? Oh, that's right, crickets, nothing. His college had a break around that time. He said he was gonna come see me. Last minute, oh, I don't have the money to come see you. Next thing you know, motherfucker's in Florida with his friends. At that point, I was done. So the fact that he didn't come see me, this bitch over here throwing me birthday parties and doing cute stuff, that was it. But I didn't tell him that. I just like continued being his girlfriend.
She tried so hard, y'all. It was like I knew what I wanted, and it was like I didn't think I was gonna get it, but I was telling everybody that I was. Like our whole friend group, I'm like, yo, that's the one right there. I'm bagging that. But yeah, I tried so hard to be the best friend that I could possibly be.
We were
friends.
really good friends.
We were venting
and
each
that's
other
what I
about
was convincing S3 that we were.
You started not caring.
I stopped caring.
You stopped caring. I stopped caring about the situations that I was going through because I realized, like, yo, I got a dope ass bitch in front of me. At this point, she was already cheating. We were attracted to each other, so shit happened.
Did you hear that?
Shit happens.
You said something along the lines of, I don't want to disrespect your relationship, so I'm gonna fall back, just be the best friend, like that type of thing. And I was like,
nah, I don't want that.
Absolutely not.
You literally said, fuck him.
Anyways, like I said, I'm thinking that my mom thinks that we're just friends because to her knowledge, I'm straight. I've had all boyfriends, still have a boyfriend. April comes along. I sleep over her house. One of the many times that I've slept over her house, but this one specific time I sleep over her house. Shais was in the shower and I'm sitting in the bed like, this is gonna be a thing. Because at this point, we're not official yet, but like basically. So I grab my iPad and I Skype him and I'm like, I have a girlfriend now. And he's like, does that mean you have a girlfriend now and also a boyfriend? Like he thought that I was gonna have a girlfriend and a boyfriend. I was like, no, just a girlfriend. Like I don't have a boyfriend anymore.
Dude.
I don't remember how the conversation like ended.
And I wasn't there, y'all, so I don't know.
But that's basically how I told him. I
think I walked in on the tail end of like the conversation. I think one of his responses was like, I knew because somebody told me they saw y'all walking down the street.
Right. Like somebody told him that they saw us walking down the street.
Like hand in hand.
Holding hands.
He even said what we were wearing and that's when we knew shit was real.
That was basically his way of like, oh, well, I've been new, so like, whatever. And then I don't know if it was the same day or a little while later. So I actually met Chase's dad and I was like, fuck, well now her mom and her dad know that we are in a relationship. Like my mom does not know, so I gotta tell her. I was so nervous because I didn't know how she was gonna take it because I'm basically coming out to her. So I texted her, I was like, I don't have a boyfriend anymore. She said, okay. I was like, but
this response gets me every time.
But I was like, what? Oh, so I have a girlfriend, and she was like, she asked me who?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, it's Trace. And then she was like, oh, if y'all would have gave me a little bit more time, I would have found out.
Yeah, if you would have gave me a little bit more time, I would have figured it out.
My reaction is,
oh,
are you not gonna like say anything about me being with a girl? My grandma had a really hard time. I don't remember the conversation that I had with my grandma, but she didn't take it well. But she loved you now. How I knew it was real was when you were not with me and she still walked up on you and like said hi to you. My grandma is not a fake ass bitch. She's really not. She will tell you like it is. She has zero filter. So the fact that she like walked up to Shais. So yeah, so everybody in my family loves Shais. As far as I'm concerned. Then I told my other best friend, Sylvia. She was the one like, what did your mom say? How did you know that you were gay? When did this happen? Like, she was the one asking all the questions. She gave me the reaction that I expected my mom to give me. But she was cool with it. I think I'm done with the storytelling. So,
love you.
I love you. We only got 3 questions, but I think that's fine because the video is already like hella long. The first question is, how did you and Shais end up together? But we basically answered that. It just happened. The second question is Shais the only woman you've ever had feelings for, like physically and emotionally? Physically, absolutely not. Emotionally though, she's the only one because I never gave myself the opportunity to even act on anything. Wait, no, there's more than 3 questions. How do you put up with women when all they do is smell good and lie? I literally just told you earlier that you smell really good. But the difference is this woman smells good and does not lie. Find you a woman that don't lie. She's been honest since literally day 1 because since day 1 we were friends. We didn't go into our friendship relationship thinking that we were gonna be together, so there was no reason to lie. And the fact that like she was honest about everything made me honest about everything. And this is the first relationship since being a cheater that I have not cheated. Do you consider yourself bisexual? Don't know how to answer this.
We're both attracted to men but don't want to have sex with them.
I'm attracted to like men and women. Like, you're nice to look at.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself bisexual. I am a shy sexual. I can't picture myself being with anybody other than Shais.
Labels aren't fun for me. Yes, I know what community I identify with, and I know
like I'm definitely part of the LGBT.
Yeah, hell yeah. But I have so many different personalities. I could be the LGBT.
In the event that we ever break up, which is never gonna happen, and I go back to like being with a guy or like being with another girl, that's my business. And
you don't know whether
I don't even know.
No.
I wouldn't even know. So this person asked, what are 2 awkward situations I experienced with a guy? Why specifically 2? With J1, like I said, he invited me over when nobody was there and there was an activity that took place. It was very awkward for me. It wasn't even like a good experience. It was just like happening. And then the barbecue with all the cousins.
Wait, can I interrupt you again for a second? I don't think we told the real reason why like we even ended up together. We wouldn't even know like that we had feelings for each other had we not kissed during Truth or Dare.
Yeah, I've never kissed a girl before playing Truth or Dare with her.
Shout out and rest in peace to Natasha. As I remember, we were all walking down the street and she was like, this tension is thick. Like, are you bi or something, Asia? She threw you under the bus and it's like, we hadn't had that conversation yet. I always had to tell her to shut up.
Last question. He said, the real question we want to know, who would win in a fight between Shais and D? He was like, let's just say you were a damsel in distress and they both showed up trying to play the little hero or whatever. Then shit got awkward. Who's winning in a fight?
But he was in class with both of us and knows that we are cool.
So first of all, there's no reason for them to fight.
And we've been around each other since.
Honestly, when we were in high school, I do remember one fight that he had. Do you remember the super tall boy? D, like, literally jumped and punched this guy. So he's a fighter. But, like, if it was to get to that situation, not saying that there is a reason, but if it were to get there, Shais would win the fight.
I'm trying to better myself.
Both of you have no reason to even be fighting at this point in your life, let alone fight each other.
I'm sorry.
Shais would win.
Why you asked that?
I don't know why he asked that, but he was like the real question we want to know. Like, he's speaking for the people. And that is it for this video. I have to pee so
I don't want
bad.
anybody to think you're just saying that.
No, but that's why I prefaced it with the fact that I've seen him fight also. Like, what's the term? He got hands? Like, they both got hands. But Shais' hands are heavier. That's all. But yeah, I keep drinking water. I have to pee. The video is over. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Hope y'all enjoyed that. Stay tuned for the next one.
If you have any other questions that I did not touch upon,
because the next one better be a truth or drink, y'all.
Oh yes, so ask questions for a truth or drink.
Y'all gonna see us tipsy.
I think I have to drink before we drink. So yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribing is free. All you need is a freaking YouTube account, which is also free. Just put in your dang email. That's literally
yeah. We gotta reiterate that subscribing is
like,
free.
it's free.
Since niggas got OnlyFans now.
If you have any questions about what I said or any questions in general, like juicy, spicy questions for our truth or drink,
hit us up.
you can either comment down below, or if you want to follow us on our social media, all of that is in the description box below.
Be a part of the Shy Asian family.
Also, in the last video that we did, I think we told you that we filmed a newlywed game with our friends, and I lost the footage. And also, we were gonna do an apartment tour, and we have not done that yet, but we are home all weekend. That should be our next video.
Yo, we've been said bye, so I
wanted to win your affection, I play for it. Is it a cliche to say you're my favorite? We can go shop till you drop and I'll pay for it. Let's find a moment that's sweet and just say